fans all over the world. So the second installment of something that just kind of grew organically. That's the fan comments that I'm going to go through again over the last, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 days. So again, guys, feel free to join me in the chat. Any questions you have, I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Right, so let's go to some of the chats here that I've received over the last few days. Just bear me a second. Right, so the first one, again, it's another a regular contributor to the channel, Runava Ghosh. Hi, Runava, if you're watching the live stream, thanks for putting your comments so dedicatedly on the channel. Now, you're talking about the Europa match, I believe, and yeah, you're saying about Aaron Ramsey. You're saying as a player at centre of the pitch, Ramsey's game is too slow and without ideas. If we aren't keeping him, we may rather try a youngster in his matches. Mickey had more space and fluidity and movement. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Just for some reason, when Aaron Ramsey, he's got the ball in attacking areas rather than trying to look for an easy, simple pass. He's just going around in circles and trying to do fancy tricks, and he's going fast nowhere, if you get what I mean. But yeah, it's just he always kind of negates and gives us like a negative effect when we're trying to go forward and when we're trying to attack. But I know you've got some more comments there as well that you've mentioned. I'll probably read them a little bit further on. Injury that he received there, and yeah, just hoping that he's going to be okay. A horrific injury, and I just saw an upload from Ian Wright where he's actually saying that he's going to be out until the end of the season. So I'm just trying to get something from the box here. Yeah, but Aaron Ramsey, Danny Welbeck is out indefinitely until the end of the season. So I've received a lot of messages actually from people, wishing Danny Welbeck, all the best. Again, we've known that he's had, so many injuries. Second, yep, goodness, we're trying to. Right, yeah. So we know that Danny Welbeck is going to be out until the end of the season. Really, really unlucky. Right, so again, guys, get into the chat. If you've got any questions, make sure you put the letter Q so I know it's a question you have there for me. And let's get into the chat again. Right. Again, Aronav Ghosh, she says that Rob Holding, again, in the Europa League match there, he had a steady game, but it's become normal for him. That these are the things that we expect from the young player in Rob Holding. But again, I did mention, why isn't he not been mentioned or selected for an England call-up? It's weird because he's been one of the best defenders there. But Gareth Southgate, I'm sure you've got your reasons for not selecting him there. But okay, another one from Arunav Ghosh, and he says, hi, talking about youngsters in our team. If we do not play them, we may not keep them in the future. Ainsley, Smith Rowe, and Ketia. Why should they stay if they cannot improve their game? Yeah. I mean, what can I say? In Unai Emery, we trust that he's made the changes as of when it's been necessary. I would like to see, some of the youngsters, get a chance, a good run in the first team. Like I said before, one player's demise is another player's opportunity to play. So we know with Danny Welbeck he's out, and I imagine that Eddie Nketiah will feature a lot now on the bench. He'll probably get his chance because Danny Welbeck he's a good plan B. You know, if things are not working out for Aubameyang or Lack, always bring another striker on, and lo and behold, we'll have Eddie Nketiah, featuring a lot more there. In regards to Smith Rowe, I see him as a perfect replacement for Aaron Ramsey. I think just put Aaron Ramsey on the bench, because for me, apart from the wonder goal that he scored there, against Fulham, we're not going to get much more out of him. So get Smith Rowe in there. I know he features. He's played a couple of matches in the Europa League there, but I would like to see him start now in the Premiership. He's earned it. He's earned it. So yeah, Smith Rowe and Nketiah. What about he's put here as well. There's a little bit more as well I need to read here. He says, we always had the riches of promising youngsters. Now we have also brought some more. Guendouzi and Mavropanos, he's saying here. And I think they are excellent, but only Guendouzi gets to play with some regularity. We've got to play them. Yeah, I totally agree. We have to play. We have to play them. Okay. All right. And again, guys, if you're watching this live, or you're going to watch this live stream maybe at a later date, and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button too at the same time, so you can get regular updates that we upload on Canon Fodder TV. Right, just a few more comments here. Paul Smith, who is another regular subscriber who loves to put comments on the uploads. And Paul says, yeah, that was bad for Welbeck. We drew the last three. We got the win. We got to win this game and hope City drop points. Well, yeah, he's alluding to the match against Wolves. I knew the match wasn't going to be an easy match. It wasn't going to be an easy match, and Nuno, well, the manager of Wolves, Nuno Espirito Santo, he's got the Spanish and Portuguese revolution going on out there, and they are the only team, as I am aware, who have taken points off Man City, of all teams out there, So yeah, okay, so let's get into it again. And there's another mention from 79 Sawa, who predicted it's going to be a 2-0 match versus Wolves, and he had a Xhaka and Laka to score. Unfortunately, we know what happened. It was a 1-1 draw there. And I'll just do it a couple more before winding up this live stream. Let's have a look. Okay. We have Dave McKinley. Now, Dave McKinley is referring to, again, an upload we did in regards to Unai Emery finding a replacement for Aaron Ramsey. And what Dave said was that Cesc Fabregas will be a good replacement for the number 10. And the number 10 is Mesut Ozil. And I did say to Dave, do you think Fabregas would want to come back to Arsenal? He's probably seen better days now. But what Dave responded to, he said, was, I think he'd come back in a heartbeat. I think he'd be back up for Ozil, but I don't see him improving under Emery. That said, Nelson and Maitland-Niles will be stepping up. So yeah, again, young players, we'll have to bring them through, sooner rather than later. Good evening, Josie Donker. How are you, my friend? Again, guys, get into the chat. Any more questions or any questions for me, I'll try and answer them as best and as honestly as I can. And so yeah, that was Dave McKinley talking about Cesc Fabregas coming back to Arsenal. Yeah, so this is just some more bits and pieces where he's saying here that that said, Nelson and Maitland-Niles will be stepping up next season. So maybe we don't need a replacement. I do worry about the club selling some assets though. CL is a must, really. Right. Okay. Yes. I totally agree. We've got an abundance of youngsters there, an abundance. And I've just seen Ryan from Mr. Arsenal podcast come into the chat there. Ryan, I'm going to be on your show later on tonight, and we need to be playing these youngsters. You know, I know Reece is out there in Hoffenheim, and he's doing wonders. I would like to see him come back at the end of the season because we need to gather our troops. Because Unai Emery, I've said it many times, he has already earmarked that he's going to get rid of at the end of this season. There are already the players that he's already thought, okay, this person is not going to be in my philosophy. So you know what? You've already been earmarked, and you're going to be. We've been playing. Yeah, we've been hit and miss. We've been stuttering. We just, I don't know. I think the match we played against Liverpool took so much out of us. Did I think we're going to beat Sporting Lisbon? Yes, I thought we were going to. Up until the point when Danny Welbeck got injured, I think the players just kind of lost their confidence. They were obviously, you know, affected by the injury there. But yeah, to come up against a sturdy and flamboyant Wolves team, yeah, am I surprised? I'm not really surprised. It's just the performance. We came out so slow. Okay, so back in the chat, I've got Josie again saying, I just feel the fans will want too much from Reece when he returns. He's not the finished article. Arsenal fans are fickle. They love you one game and hate you the next. Do you think we are fickle? I think, you know, say it like it is. You know, we are, you know, armchair critics. You know, of course, we're going to say it like it is. You know, but that's part and parcel of the game now. You know, the modern game now. Like, you've got players, you know, earning megabucks. So we're going to want to see performance in return. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe he's probably. But you know what? Is Guendouzi the finished article? Is Guendouzi the finished article? I don't think he is. He's not the finished article. Anyhow, right. So let's get back into the comments now. Let's come over the last 6 to 7 days, and I've got another person who's another regular commenter on the channel, and this is 11 Arsenal FC 1. And he says, we need to be rid of some of those players of the latter years of Wenger, and quickly. If I had my way, they'll be gone in January. Just clear them out. Shaka, poor Shaka. Oh my goodness. He wants to be rid of Shaka. So spare me a second. Oh dear, yeah, he's written a whole load here. Just bear me a second. I'll just try and break it up. So he says, yeah, that he will get rid of Shaka, who you know I don't rate. Mustafi in particular. What the hell? Yeah. Like I've just said, we need to get rid of a lot of the players. And again, Emery already knows which players, you know, that he's going to get rid of. There's enough evidence there, video evidence. There's enough evidence to show that the performance hasn't been fantastic. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. Watch me. All right. So yeah, he's written a lot here. He said, oh dear. He said, Özil and Mkhitaryan even. These two fools are drawing big wages and having a laugh at our expense, and we need to stop making excuses for Özil in particular. Serious critic of Özil. The man is on 300k per week and has one good game in every 4 or 5. And no, I'm not being harsh. The intent that these players exhibit under Wenger still exists. They raised their games against Liverpool recently and should have won, in my opinion. If they play well against the Wolves of the Premiership, they win. It's as simple as that. If they don't, they drop points, and we're fortunate to got even one today. Until Emery gets his players in, which will take a couple of transfer windows, this will continue. Some of these players just don't fit into the system he wants for Arsenal to play. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. Until Emery can bring in his players, we're going to see the same pattern with the players performing 1 week and then not the next week, then performing another week and then. But again, like I've said, you know, we haven't lost. Is it 16 now? 16 games unbeaten. You know, so we're in fifth place. So yeah, you know, point taken. Point taken. You know, he needs to be given the time. You're not putting your weight or you're not fitting in the system. In game management, he'll pull you off. So can you imagine what the Carl is going to look like? The players that he's going to get rid of. There's going to be blood fire. Right. So yeah, thanks for that long detailed comment there. That was 11R1. All right, let's quickly get into the chat. Right. Okay, I've got a lot of comments here by Chelsea. Okay, and he was saying everyone wants him to return and think he's gonna be messy. I say let him stay. So you're referring to Reece Nelson. No, Guendouzi isn't the finished article, but all the fans call for him in the midfield. With Torreira couldn't string passes together without Xhaka being dictated, being in a fullback role. I feel Xhaka needs to play in a 3. Torreira can't cover for Xhaka, lack of mobility. That is the only thing about Xhaka, because he does rely on Torreira too much. His awareness, I mean, what was he thinking about yesterday when he let the ball just pass by him there? You know, don't get me wrong. For me, I love Xhaka. I love Granit Xhaka. But it's just those errors there that he makes when he's not switched on. Okay, Ozil isn't a free role player. Doesn't do enough. You know what? You know, make sure if you can tune in to Arsenal, Mr. Arsenal podcast tonight. I'm going to be on their show tonight at 8 o'clock UK time. For me, yesterday it wasn't apparent that we had a captain. I know Ozil was wearing the armband, but you can't give the armband to a player who doesn't really, you know, inspire consistency. You can't. You can't. You've taken him off when he hasn't been performing. You've given him the armband, and the performance still isn't there. We can't afford to have luxury players. And for me, Ozil is a luxury player. Okay, just read a couple more before I wrap up the live stream. And I've got a comment here from 101 on Arsenal. That's Apollo. Apollo, what's happening, man? And he says, again, just bear me a second just to roll up the comment here in its entirety. And Apollo says, Emery's focus now has to shift to the Premier League. Jobs done in Europe, Europa League. Ramsey was okay, though, and got into a few nice positions. Still dwells on the ball too much. And that's what we said at the beginning of the live stream there, that rather than looking to give it 1 or 2 touches at the most, he's turning and twisting, and then he pushes the ball back. Get the ball forward at the earliest opportunity. You don't see the Man City players doing that, do you? Okay. And any more? Right, I don't have any more comments on here, but I'm going to read just a few more comments in the chat, and I'm gonna roll up and finish the live stream. Right, again, we've got Josie Donker, who seems to be Donker. And he says, I think we must play him deeper, like Silva or De Bruyne or Modric. And Josie, I think you're referring to are you referring to Xhaka, I believe. We'll do scribe and turn on notifications. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, if you're watching this channel for the first time and you like what you see, you know what to do. Press the subscribe button and press the notification button. I say day in, day out, every upload or every other upload, you know what, some guys are complaining that haven't been receiving the videos because you haven't pressed the notification button. Right. All right, you're talking about Xhaka, I believe. All right, I just look at today's number 10s. They're more all-round players and must produce goals as well as Ali, Messi, and Diablo, and etc. You're right. And what frustrates me more than anything else, I know when they can pull it off, like the one touch, it was fantastic. But Özil had a couple of opportunities for him to shoot. And rather than shoot, he squared the ball. I was thinking, just shoot. Just shoot. Bellerin, you can see Bellerin has been told, when you are outside the 18-yard box or at the earliest opportunity, just have a shot on goal. But maybe the second thing that really frustrates me about Özil is that I don't see him, physically, running and trying to close down the ball. And the second thing is, rather than having a shot on goal, because I'm sure he would improve his goal ratio, he'll prefer to shoot, square the ball or pass to somebody else to try and get an assist. No, shoot, have a dig. Anyway, that's my little rant there. Guys, listen, it's been a blast. This is fan comments on Cannon Fodder TV. Again, if you guys want me to continue doing this, I'll continue doing it. If you don't, it's no worries, yeah. But whoever's been in the chat, and for those subscribers who have dedicatedly put comments on the channel, I'm so grateful, very, very grateful, because without you guys, there would be no Cannon Fodder TV. No Cannon Fodder TV, no uploads, no chats, no debates, no live streams. But anyhow, I'm going to head out. I think unless somebody has any more comments in the live chat for me. No? No? Okay, did I miss anything out? No, I didn't. Right. This has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. Breaking news.